Best basketball when your backs are up against the wall? Why?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, the effort was amazing. We were down 16. I mean, we were down 16 the last game. We were down 16 against Utah one time. We don't want to be in that spot, but it seems like we are good in that spot. I'm joking. I don't know, just the switch that we had in the third quarter, it was amazing. The energy was there, the defense was there. We were making shots. The whole team played really well. So I don't know. It was an amazing game for us.
And Nikola, it is well documented that Gary Harris has struggled since coming to Orlando a little bit. Jamal Murray was down on the floor in agony at one point during this game. What did they do for your team today?
Who?
Jamal and Gary.
I mean, Jamal he's a fighter. He's a dog who is never gonna quit. I knew that he's not gonna get out of the game. He's an amazing guy who is there is no end for him. Like the sky is the limit for real. And Gary will step up when we need him. I mean, Gary and JG, Jeremy are playing a really amazing job in defensive end. So I mean.
And you were pretty impressive yourself, both in passing and scoring. You were doing all right. Where do you draw from as you were doing those things?
I mean, I think it's defense. When we get the stops, when you have a couple consecutive stops in a row, the ball is moving, we are flying, the ball is going in. So probably just for the energy that we have from defensive end. Just when we start running in the offense, we are a really good team.
And finally, Nikola, this is the second straight series that you have gone to 7 games. What can you draw on that gives you confidence from the Utah series?
This is the 4th series that we're going. Last year we were going to the game 7 2 times. So I mean, just have fun. Like, we don't have pressure. I think the whole pressure is on them. We just go out there and have fun. Effort, I always say effort needs to be on a high level. Have fun and give your all best.
Thanks, Nikola. All the pressure is on them. Mark, back to you.
Does that guy look worried to you, folks? I don't think so much.
Yeah, here. Hopefully I'm going to win a ring one day.
Just out there just playing, man. Just want to win a basketball game.
Like a champion. Aiming for the best like a champion.
He's a machine.
I will never stop like a champion.
Who, what, where, when.
They are 0-6 in franchise history when they've had a chance to clinch a conference finals berth. Can they make it happen tonight? Meanwhile, the Nuggets are not backing down after securing their 4th win or go home game. That's because, meanwhile, in the East, the Celtics defense sealed the deal on Friday. Celtics had 2 huge blocks late. They finished the game with 5 blocks and 12 steals. They also forced 18 turnovers with 31 points off of those turnovers. Jason Tatum scored a game-high 29 points. Jaylen Brown had 21. And Marcus Smart had 16 points, 6 assists, and 3 steals. For the Raptors, Serge Ibaka and Fred VanVleet each had only 12 points apiece. Perk, what happened?
You know what? I put Pascal Siakam in a conversation, and I jumped the gun because he was nowhere to be found. He went MIA like he act like he really didn't care, and I love the guy. I think, you know, from just looking at what he came from, far as coming in as and went from the G League to the most improved to champion to an all-star starter, and then he disappeared on me and on my take because I was out here begging and pleading for people to give him his props. But Marcus Smart to me was the MVP of this series. With no Gordon Hayward, I thought the Celtics didn't have a chance, and Marcus Smart proved me wrong once again. He's the heart and soul of that Celtic team, and to me, without him being in there and his impact on the offensive end and the defensive end, the Celtics wouldn't have beat the Raptors.
Anything you want to say to the Celtics fans? I mean, because here you are.
I know. They know my heart bleed green, right? That's my home away from home. And they proved me wrong. Jason Tatum is a star. Jaylen Brown is one of the better two-way players in the game today. And look, shout out to the Celtics. The fans, I hope they still love Big Perk because I love y'all, all right? I just had to do my job, and I thought the Raptors was going to win the series with no Gordon Hayward.
Don't worry. We got you. We fixed the meme for you. Just for Celtics fans so that they know it's all love. We ain't about them Raptors anymore. It's all about the C's moving forward.
Oh,
you look good.
No,
you look
why
good.
did you say that?
Look, cap tip to the Raptors, though. You know, Perk, like, they fought in that series, and they were inspiring to watch. Now, I know Pascal Siakam didn't perform to the ability that, you know, we are used to seeing him perform at, but if anyone's going to give him some good perspective, it's Kyle Lowry, and he had some great comments after the game about, you know, conversations he had with Pascal and how Kyle Lowry used to be that guy who people criticize, who couldn't step up in the playoffs. And I don't know if Pascal has that inner dog in him that Kyle Lowry does, but he's a good mentor to have in that locker room, to say the least. And shout out to Kyle Lowry, who really cemented himself as one of the great leaders in the NBA.
Well, unfortunately for Lowry and the Raptors, they're on the way home. The Clippers have a chance to send the Nuggets home tonight, and that leads us into our main attraction. All right, so Paul Millsap said the turning point in Game 5 was his scuffle with Marcus Morris just before halftime. Cassidy, what did you make of that moment? Perk, I think we lost Cassidy, so I'll ask you, what did you make of this moment in the game?
Well, I thought it was the turning point because Paul Millsap had been playing horrible. Then all of a sudden, it's like a light switch clicked on, and he was huge because he's a veteran leader on that team. And so once they got into that scuffle, you seen a new type of fresh air come, a new type of energy come into this Nuggets team, and then they start competing at another level. I mean, he was right about that. When you look at it from that point on, when they went into halftime, that changed the whole game because when the Nuggets came out, they came out with a chip on their shoulder.
Millsap said after that the I guess the vibe of that team has always been that they're soft. Was that the vibe that you got from that Nuggets team before this situation happened? Is that kind of how you saw this team?
No, I just thought they was unexperienced. I thought they was just young. I never thought they was soft. They have some hard-nosed guys over there, guys like Craig and Jeremy Grant and you know, even Jamal Murray and Big Jokic. I mean, yes, he take a lot of jump shots, but he's a physical guy. So I don't necessarily think that they're soft. I just thought that their youth played a major factor and that they need to get more reps and get more experience in the playoffs. But here they are. They put themselves in a great position. The pressure is all on the Clippers. And I think, you know, Mike Malone, he don't get enough credit. He's going to have his guys go out there ready to play today, and the Clippers going to have to strap their boots up and put this young team away because they don't want to go into a Game 7 knowing how dangerous Jamal Murray and the Big Jokic is.
So, you know, Millsap had 14 points in the third quarter of Game 5. Do you think that the Nuggets need him to do that again in order to force a Game 7? Cassidy, I'll ask you this one.
Yeah, I mean, anything they can get, you know, all hands on deck, wherever they can get a spark, because as we saw last night with the Lakers, they came out determined to put that game away, both in the first quarter and then the third quarter. Like I said to LeBron, they decided it was over. And that's what the Clippers need to do. They need to stay consistent. You know, sometimes it looks as if they just rest on their laurels. They rest on the fact that they have so much talent around them. And Perk, this is something you've been saying, you know, all year. It's when you have too many guys, you know, you're looking around like, all right, are you going to step up? Or are you going to step up? And they got to put this team away because, like you said, this Denver team may not have experience, but they got confidence. And I think Gary Harris and the fact that he's returned has added this defensive boost that has rattled the Clippers a bit on the perimeter specifically, and, you know, is allowed is allowed Jokic and Murray to kind of be freed up a little bit more if Gary wasn't there. So, look, the Clippers, they need to come out and show their talent in full force today.
The Nuggets have.
You know what's.
Go ahead, Perk.
You know what's crazy is that the Nuggets actually that's the true definition of weathering the storm, because the Clippers came out in that first half of that game and they imposed their will. Paul George didn't miss a shot. Kawhi was being Kawhi Jordan, who we known to be. Even Patrick Beverly, the Morris twin was playing huge. Big Zubac was playing well. And the Nuggets didn't hang their heads. They stayed in the fight. So for them to take their best punch and actually come out and win that game 5, it's going to be interesting to see if the Nuggets could get off to a good start, how this game is going to turn out, because the lack of production, right? Lou Will, you worried about the lemon pepper wings and trademarking, but you haven't been providing what the Clippers need off the bench lately. And I'm just being honest, like, he hasn't been the Lou Will that they expected him to be. The shoulders have, just because the Clippers are in the position because of how Kawhi Leonard has been playing. He's been playing like the top 2 best player in the world. And so, you know, for the Clippers to close this out, they're going to have to get Lou Will going. He's going to have to get himself going.